delays. These karmics have took a lot of risk, okay, spent a lot of money in regards to looking into this connection with the High Priestess in reverse. Like I said, playing psychics, doing their own manipulation and spells, etc. Four of Wands in reverse, okay? Yeah. A lot of tension and instability. They wanted to create instability and tension revolving around this twin flame connection. Obviously, you cannot stop a twin flame connection, but they have definitely continued to disregard and avoid the warnings from the divine that they cannot stop this. They've already looked into psychics. They know that this is a divine connection, but they have continued to spend, to lose money, and to be corrupt and trying to create instability around this connection. That's double confirmation because we have the Four of Wands twice. Lots of judgment, lots of jealousy. Clarify the Four of Wands in reverse. Clarify the Four of Wands in reverse. Right, so this is the Karmic's overall energy, past to current energy, okay? The Karmics have tried to create instability and stop healing in regards to this connection. In regards to a Sagittarius, possibly, the Temperance card is the Sagittarius card. But the Karmics are very much trying to stop a transformation, trying to stop an awakening, trying to stop any enlightenment surrounding this twin flame union. The divine masculine could be involved with a Sagittarius. But yes, there is major competition, okay, frustration, and the Karmics are very, very, very imbalanced over a Sagittarius, or just in competition with the divine feminine, and they want to stop this connection between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Because they know the divine feminine is the light after the darkness. The Karmics are in avoidance. The Karmics are misaligned and very much dealing with mental health issues, a lot of pressure, a lot of fights among the Karmics, between the Karmics and the divine masculine. And the Karmics are thinking of new tactics, maybe offering treats, employing new tricks. The Karmics are so off balance that they are deciding that it's time to come out of their depression and their typical ways of manipulation and control, and, you know, attempt to wear a mask, to feign changing their ways. They are stopping at nothing during this period to draw the divine masculine back in to the karmic cycles, to gain some sense of control. in order to stop the divine feminine in their mind from winning, when all the divine feminine is doing is just staying in her power, in her light. And that alone is what draws the divine masculine, not control, trickery, and manipulation. Okay, so what is the Karmics' a major conflict during this period? What is the Karmics' major conflict in regards to the divine feminine? What is the Karmics' major conflict in regards to the divine feminine? What is the Karmics' major conflict in regards to the divine feminine? The Karmic's major conflict in regards to divine feminine is that divine feminine is the Queen of Wands, and the divine feminine is intuitive, and strong, and soars above the rest. And the divine feminine is passionate about bringing the truth, passionate about shining the light. The divine feminine does not speak too much. The divine feminine does not overthink too much. The divine feminine knows, and the divine feminine goes after the truth and goes toward what she wants. For this reading to be as long, but it's going to be 2 parts, obviously. Okay, so what is the Karmic's major conflict in regards to the divine feminine? Is that the Karmic's major conflict in regards to divine feminine is that they are obsessed with the divine feminine. Also, They can't stop thinking about the divine feminine. Even though the divine feminine is focused on their path, on humanity, these karmics are so bonded by their manipulation and their blockages and their spell work and all the things that they have done to the divine feminine that they are almost connected to the divine feminine. They can't stop thinking about the divine feminine. They are constantly on their minds. They want clarity on the divine feminine. They want to know how the divine feminine ticks. They want to know why she wears what she wears, why she goes where she goes, what she's doing, how she's doing it. They're looking into the divine feminine. They want to be the divine feminine. They want to emulate the divine feminine. They're very restless in regards to the divine feminine because divine feminine is constantly shining their light on the truth. And this is almost intriguing to the karmics. And they want the divine feminine to move on or to move forward, but the divine feminine has already done that. The divine feminine is just going to always be focused on the truth, okay? And they also believe that the divine feminine's truth is making the divine masculine want to move forward, okay? Like the Knight of Wands toward the divine feminine's light. They know that the divine masculine sees light and loyalty when he thinks about his divine feminine, and he wants to passionately move on towards divine feminine. Some of the divine masculines have actually told the karmics, if they are together, if they're not together, that the divine feminine is their light, is loyal, and the divine masculines have told some karmics that you should take notes from the divine feminine, because a lot of the divine masculines have found out that the karmics have been very disloyal, have been having multiple partners, have done very hurtful and deceitful things in regards to them. And some of these karmics are family members, okay? Some of these karmics have been manipulating the divine masculine since he was a pre-adolescent. Yeah, doing spells and doing all kinds of binding spells and blockages on their life. And if this is a karmic partner, these karmics have been manipulating the divine masculine, have been blackmailing the divine masculine, have been actually doing spells on the divine masculine. Even if the divine masculine is guilty, or maybe even brought the karmics into this lifestyle, these karmics have broken the trust, and they have broken the pact, and they are for themselves, and the divine masculine knows that, okay? And like I said, we have a tower moment that's already happened. There's avoidance. We have the high priestess in reverse. That's all about secrets. The karmics are looking into the divine feminine, stalking the divine feminine and the divine masculine, doing psychic readings on the divine feminine. They're doing spell work on the divine feminine, blockages on the divine feminine. They are they are very distrustful of the divine masculine. They feel like the divine masculine has broken an oath or a coven or a code, and they just feel like the divine feminine is a spiritual burden, remember? And they have lots of dark secrets to protect, okay? And there's been a tower moment. because of this action toward the divine feminine, the divine light, okay, God's divine daughter, the prophecy. These karmics have really broken some major doctrines, and they are under major judgment. But they feel the divine masculine has broken a code or of some sort, and they definitely are very much jealous of the divine feminine, and they are stalking the divine feminine. They are watching divine feminine so closely. It is very, very eerie, okay? And the karmics know that the divine masculine is moving on to move toward what the divine masculine perceives as loyalty and light, okay, away from them. Clarify the Knight of Swords. I'm sorry, the Knave of Swords, or the Page of Swords. Yes, clarifying the Knave of Swords and how what the conflict, major conflict is for the karmics in regards to the divine feminine. That yes, they're looking in closely on the divine feminine. They are stalking, spying, looking closely into the divine feminine. And the major conflict for the karmics right now in regards to the divine feminine is that they are aware that with the divine feminine's truth and light that the divine feminine is bringing to the situation, this in turn is shining light on the karmic's materialism and the karmic's overindulgence and the divine feminine's truth and light and spirituality is a setback for the karmics. They're used to reaping rewards from their manipulation. They're used to being successful in their control and manipulation, reaping the benefits of that control, having the divine masculine like a zombie where they can blackmail and receive rewards and, you know, take their money, etc. But with the divine feminine in the picture, even though technically not in the picture, but a divine feminine or twin flame connection will always be there, even if the two counterparts aren't together. So the karmics feel as if the divine feminine and her light and her truth is setting them back, and they don't like that at all. Clarify the Eight of Cups. The karmic could be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. All the signs are out here as well. We even have fire with the Knight of Wands. So clarify the Eight of Cups on the major conflict for the karmics regarding the divine feminine. Yes. The divine feminine's light codes and truth is turning the divine masculine into the king of swords, and he's cutting through their BS and their games and their tactics, and he's becoming aware, and he's taking control, and he's going to bring some sort of truth and step into his own power and truth, and no longer allow themselves, the divine masculines, to be manipulated, and they're going to be trusting their own intellect and standing in their power and speaking up for themselves. To clarify the 8 of Cups, Scorpionic energy or water energy, we have the Justice card, okay, in reverse. So the Karmics, it's conflict in regard to the divine feminine is that they're watching closely, they're stalking the divine feminine, they're studying and are very aware of the truth that the divine feminine is bringing to the light. This divine feminine is really putting a damper on their tricks and manipulation that used to work in the past, shedding light toward the divine masculine. Okay, the divine masculine is moving away from the Karmics toward the divine feminine's light. Okay, to clarify the 8 of Cups, we have the Justice card in reverse. The Karmic could be a Libra, but the conflict is that the Karmics know that the divine masculine is aware of their dishonesty, their lack of accountability, their corruption, and because of the divine feminine's light and truth that's being shown, the divine masculine is walking away from the corruption and the betrayal, and the Karmics do not want the divine masculine to bring any sort of justice to the divine feminine. This is a major conflict for the Karmics because it's taking away their control. This could definitely mean that the Karmics could possibly be dealing with a court case, an actual divorce. Some divine masculines could be divorcing the Karmics. Some divine masculines could be dealing with child support or some sort of court proceedings. But yeah, the divine feminine's light is bringing balance to the divine masculine, and the Karmics are very much aware of this. They are stalking and watching, paying close attention, very upset about this divine feminine, putting a monkey in their wrench. I think that's how they call it, in their plans. And yeah, this divine masculine is walking away from these Karmics, walking away from their dishonesty and betrayal and corruption. Okay, some of this corruption has been going on for years, decades. Okay, but this is the conflict for the Karmic in regards to the divine feminine. And lastly, let's clarify the Knight of Wands and the Karmic's conflict, and how the divine feminine's truth is shedding light on corruption and injustice, and the divine masculine's walking away, charging toward someone with the message Knight of Wands. Clarify the Knight of Wands for the Karmic conflict. Yeah, the conflict for the divine masculine, more earth energy. The Karmic could definitely be an earth sign with the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. The conflict, okay, for the Karmic involving the divine feminine is that no matter how much money they spend, how many collaborations they get together with of like-minded lower vibrational energies, how many psychics they go to and pay, how many tarot card readings they get, how much competition they give the divine feminine, how many blocks they put on the divine masculine, they cannot stop the divine masculine from seeing the light of the divine feminine and from rushing toward her healing and her loyalty. And it incenses the karmics that the divine feminine has this kind of loyalty and respect for someone that they're not even with, because they can't wrap their mind around a divine connection. They are aware that they do not have this kind of connection with the divine masculine, and that they would never have a successful, confident relationship with the divine masculine. And their blockages and the stagnation they're trying to create isn't working because the divine feminine's light codes are too strong and she's too protected. The conflict for the karmics is that the divine masculine is not falling prey to their tactics, their spells, their blockages aren't working because the divine feminine's light codes and the divine feminine's light is too strong. Okay, the divine has stepped in and created a tower moment. They're in denial, the karmics, but the divine feminine's light, the dawn, the light after the darkness, is bringing the divine masculine out of this depression, 9 of Swords, out of sleepless nights, looking for relief and looking for a new perspective. The divine masculine is recovering and coming out of depression and fear and anxiety, and yeah, this is a major conflict for the karmics in regards to the divine feminine. The karmics have actually been depressed and anxious in regards to the divine feminine bringing illumination to their secrets. What actions will the karmics be taking in regards to the divine feminine? What actions will the karmics be taking against the divine feminine during this period? 3 of Wands. What actions will the karmics be taking in regards to the divine feminine? What actions will the karmics be taking? Will the karmics be taking in regards to the divine feminine? What actions will the Karmics be taking in regards to the Divine Feminine? What actions? Bottom of the deck. 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Discs in reverse. So the Karmics are going to be trying to create setbacks and frustration. Their action going forward during this period toward the Divine Feminine is obsession. They are very obsessed, okay, with the Divine Feminine, per usual. They're going to be trying to perfect ways to create setbacks and frustration in regards to the Divine Feminine. This is really business as usual. So this is the bottom of the deck energy. Yeah, they're going to be trying to create setbacks and delays. They're going to be manipulating the Divine Masculine, being cruel and abusive, creating indecisiveness within him with all kinds of tricks or treats, manipulation. Remember, the overall energy of the Karmics is imbalance and avoidance. Okay, some are avoiding their own mental illness. Some are just avoiding the fact that this Divine Masculine does not want any sort of balanced, harmonic relationship with them. Some of these Karmics are family members who are very toxic and off balanced and mentally ill, okay, and definitely obsessed with the Divine Feminine. So yeah, overall energy, 6 of Pentacles in reverse. The Karmics are going to be continuing to obsess over the Divine Feminine and trying to create, working obsessively hard to create blockages, okay? The overall energy, the energy around what the action that the Karmics are going to be taking toward the Divine Feminine is 3 of Wands and the Lovers, okay? The Divine Feminine or Karmic could be a fire sign or a Gemini. But the 3 of Wands is all about, plotting, strategizing, finding strength, moving forward, okay? The Karmics are going to be moving forward with some kind of plan, okay? Bottom of the deck energy is the 6 of Pentacles. Right underneath of that is the King of Swords in reverse. So, yeah, and in this King of Swords card, the King of Swords has on a mask, okay, with the moon there. Next full moon is going to be in Aries, so something may be happening around that time period. But yes, action that the Karmics are going to be taking toward the Divine Feminine is plotting and strategizing, planning some sort of forward action revolving around the counterparts, okay? Creating some sort of stagnation in this connection, manipulation and abuse toward the Divine Masculine by use of tricks and temptation. Yeah. there's going to be some sort of strategizing and stagnation trying to be created around the twin flame connection. We also have the Knight of Cups. So more confirmation. The Knight or the Knave. Yeah, that's the Knight of Cups, okay? So Knight of Cups is all about coming forward with a offer of healing, to heal or be healed, to offer a cup of love, to advance with some sort of healing and inspiration and fulfillment. Okay. So we asked, what is the Karmic's action in regards to the Divine Feminine? What is the Karmic's actions toward the Divine Feminine during this period? And we have the Karmics being very obsessive, working hard at strategizing a plan, plotting and planning, okay, to obsessively move forward, to also manipulate, control, and abuse the Divine Masculine, okay, King of Swords in reverse energy. The Karmics plan on manipulating this twin flame connection, and they're very, very, very jealous, okay, and they're going to be trying to do some sort of manipulation, okay, to cause jealousy in the Divine Feminine or jealousy in the Divine Masculine. They're going to boost up the Divine Masculine's ego. They are going to do whatever they can do to prevent the Divine Masculine from advancing toward the Divine Feminine, Knight of Cups, with any sort of offering of healing in this connection. Divine Feminine could be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or a Gemini. The Karmics yes, definitely are going to be dealing with a lot of judgment, okay? But we're going to clarify this energy on what the Karmic's plan of action is toward the Divine Feminine. Okay, please clarify the Knight of Cups. Now we're going to go in order. It was the 2, the 3 of Wands, yeah, Obsession. Clarify the 3 of Wands, please. The Karmic's plan toward the Divine Feminine. 3 of Wands. The Karmic's plan toward Divine Feminine. Trying to prevent the light after the darkness, because they see the Divine Feminine as the light, the dawn, the light after the darkness, and they want to prevent any sort of reconciliation between the counterparts. To clarify the 3 of Wands, we have the 10 of Swords and the Devil. Wow. Okay. The Karmic could definitely be a Capricorn or a Aquarius or air sign. The Karmic's action toward the Divine Feminine is they're plotting, strategizing, and planning, obsessively planning a some sort of ending or some sort of betrayal. We already said that they were stepping back from manipulation in their typical manner, and they're going to delve into mischief by masking themselves, feigning a new approach or a new sensibility on how they act or how they treat divine masculine. They're going to try to embody the divine feminine's light codes. They're doing something different because they are trying to avoid the fact that there is no connection between the divine masculine and themselves. They're avoiding the fact that there has been a tower moment and that all masks are coming down and truth is being revealed. They are trying to pull the divine masculine back into karmic cycles with the high priestess in reverse. This is all about secrets, all about feeling that the divine masculine has stepped outside of a coven, outside of a pact, outside of a particular oath that sealed and protected their dark secrets, and they want to do away with the spiritual burden that the divine feminine has placed on their ways of being, okay, which is corrupt injustice. So the karmics, in terms of how they're planning to move toward divine feminine, is that they are planning a way to bring some sort of betrayal or some sort of ending to this twin flame connection by manipulation, by bottom of the deck is the Queen of Swords, okay, in reverse. This is a Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. This is the motherly energy, the Queen of Swords as well. This is all about manipulation, jealousy, coupled with Capricorn card. This is or possibly either Capricorn or low vibrational energy. There's going to be some sort of manipulation and betrayal in the karmic's mind that's going to create separation or some sort of stagnation with this connection. So yeah, they do not want any sort of recovery or renewal to the divine connection. So there's going to be some sort of, they're plotting and planning a surrender. They want the divine masculine to surrender to their oath, to their pact, to their traditional ways of being, which is devil energy. The karmics are strategizing and obsessing over the divine feminine and over this connection, and they are trying to create an illusion of fear around the divine masculine. They are trying to bring the divine masculine back into addictions, obsession through control, and codependency, which is the typical ways of the karmic, whether that's through money, whether that's through sex, whether that's through blackmail, exposing secrets about involvements in questionable acts, sexuality, crimes, etc. They're pulling out all the stops because they know that there's been a lot of light shown on their true ways, and that the divine feminine's light is what's coming after the dark, and it's really only in their minds the end of their reign and the beginning of their surmise, okay? Because avoidance and denial can only last but so long, because the divine is stepping into the situation and bringing down the walls, okay? Goliath is going down, okay? So that's their plan, okay, to really come in with the big guns to cause some sort of ending, okay, through manipulation. Clarify the Lover's card and the actions that the Karmics are going to be taking toward the Divine Feminine. Yeah. The Karmics are planning, plotting, strategizing, obsessing over a plan to bring an end to this twin flame connection. They're pulling out every, tool in their arsenal, including this guy, okay? Fear, manipulation, blackmail, obsession, sex, anything they could think of, okay, to bring the divine masculine back into these cycles, because they know that this divine masculine is wanting to move away from this energy, okay, toward love and calmer waters, blue pure, deep waters with his divine feminine, that this divine masculine wants change, and he's transitioning past the imbalanced situation that he was in, and he's moving toward the divine feminine, okay? I did not know why my charger was it's plugged in, but it's not charging. Wow. Okay. All right, so yeah, they know that there's going to be forward movement, and they are very desperate and very obsessed. At this time, clarify the 8 of discs, 8 of pentacles, obsession, looking very deeply into a situation and very focused and frustrated, trying to create setbacks, okay? Clarify the 8 of pentacles. Yeah. They're working really hard at trying to create setbacks. They're very obsessed, and they're frustrated. And Knight of Swords in reverse. They are very disorganized, okay? They're trying to cause setbacks with the divine masculine. They're trying to keep him from coming forward with any truth by creating an energy of stagnation and unreliability. and weakness. Okay, they are obsessing over the situation between the counterparts. And this card here, the Eight of Pentacles, there's someone who is unable to move, immobile, under a spell. They are working hard at trying to prevent any kind of forward movement as far as truth coming forward, okay? Bottom of the deck is the Chariot. The action they're taking towards the Divine Feminine during this period is they are feeling like they have to move very quickly to create some sort of plan to end this connection. Even though I don't know how many times we have to say that you cannot end a divine connection, but they're doing really a lot to create delays and to frustrate the situation. They cannot get at the Divine Feminine, so they are pretty much banking on dragging the Divine Masculine back into karmic cycles through manipulation and typical ways that they have been able to manipulate in the past. And lastly, we're going to clarify the Knight of Cups in reverse. Clarify the Knight of Cups in reverse. Yeah. The actions that the Karmics are going to be taking in regards to the Divine Feminine is, like we said, creating a toxic environment around the Divine Feminine in hopes that they can, you know, bring him back into karmic cycles and end any sort of new beginning with his Divine Feminine. By blocking and doing all kinds of manipulation on the Divine Masculine to keep him from communicating or bringing justice, as well as creating illusions, Seven of Cups, and preventing any sort of forward movement toward the Divine Feminine from the Divine Masculine with any sort of offering of healing or any type of forward movement, justice. They're creating delays. They're creating temptation and insecurity, indecision, and illusions and unrealistic desires around the Divine Masculine to keep him from moving forward, Knight of Cups, toward his fulfillment and healing. They want to keep the Divine Masculine in his ego, okay? What's not being said by the Karmic? What's not being said by the Karmic in regards to the Divine Feminine? What's not being said by the karmic in regards to the divine feminine? What's not being said by the karmic in regards to the divine feminine? Wow. It's not being said by the karmic. Oh my God, this better not cut off. Bottom of the deck, 2 of Wands. The karmic is very much stunted, okay? And the karmic actually feels blocked, okay? Blocked by the divine masculine. The karmic feels blocked by the divine feminine. The karmic almost has a obsession that they can't control. They feed off of the divine feminine's energy. They're obsessed with trying to be the divine feminine. Many divine feminines have blocked any and everyone that they think has access to them through the divine masculine. And the karmics thinks that the divine feminine is overconfident, but the karmic can't help but to focus and obsess over every thing that the divine feminine does, their decisions, but the karmic feels stunted and blocked by both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And they are having a hard time focusing on anything other than these counterparts, okay?